Well, we are going to summarize this beautiful game of football that saw United draw 2-2 with Liverpool at Old Trafford with what we call the player ratings. And Rokan David is my name. Good morning, everyone watching this channel. This is the United Matters channel, not Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. It was really a very bad game for the club of Man United, and we had some moments that went ahead of had to capitalize on and really go ahead of Liverpool. But as I told you, it showed you how we are lacking quality to control games. And however much the manager has a style of play, there is no way you are going to come out and really tell us exactly how you are really gonna keep doing what he wants to do when you're not having the players of the quality he really deserves. Meaning that we cannot really do things consistently. So to it that every time we played from the back, we could obviously break through Liverpool, but we couldn't have that throughout the game. Look at the second goal we score. Some good of deep play, Bruno dropping deep. There was a very huge interplay, Kobbie, Maino, Harry Maguire, Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, and so on and so forth. Then later, I think Casemiro plays the ball to Kobbie Maino. Kobbie Maino utilized the space and went ahead to score that goal. So you should see these patterns, the build-up of the game. The build-up, the patterns are there, but the way we build up cannot be consistent because of the quality that we have. If they're not gonna hit to press us, we look a very good team, but when they're pressed, we look really a very bad team. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslim is Barakallahu Fikum, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. And let's close to 200 likes in this video. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit the magic number, and the magic number is none other than 18,000 subscribers, but we want to first hit 17,100 subscribers. And let's go to the player ratings. Let's go to Andre Onana. He made some brilliant saves, by the way. Like 2-3 from Mohamed Salah. There was one from Sobasilai. Darwin Núñez in the mix. Really had a lot because Liverpool had close to 20 plus shots at the goal of Man United. And guess what? Andre Onana really looked good on the night or in the evening, and he went ahead to prove how good he is. And Man United went ahead to obviously be saved by this guy very many times, and Andre Onana deserves a 6.5 out of 10 for me into my ratings. When I go to Diego Dallo, obviously I think had a very good game. I've always gonna let you know that I've gonna hate to see a new role that Ten Hag is gonna hate to give to Diego Dallo, especially when he's playing as a right back. He is the man responsible for inverting the midfield to obviously see to it that we do the build-up play very well. He copped up, into the game, and he really put in a shift. But those inversions he made, the runnings, defending, he's really a very good player. You remember in the first half when Darwin Núñez tried to obviously have a 1v1 situation with Diego Dallo, and he was trying to pass the ball to the left side, and Dallo went ahead to make a very huge interception that resulted into a corner. You remember that? He really had a very good goal, and surprisingly, Statement Dev never went ahead to obviously compile his game by numbers, but I think he really had a very good goal, and it takes a 6.7 out of 10 for me into this game. We go to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Minus that foul that he does that results into a penalty, I think he had a good game. He closed down Mohamed Salah. He pocketed him to an extent that the manager decided to obviously get in Harvey Elliott to play as a right forward, and Salah was switched into the middle of the park to see to it that they increase the number of bodies they're really having in the center attacking positions, on the central attacking positions of Liverpool. But for me, that foul he does takes him from a 6.5 to a 5.5. That is it, because it was really uncalled for. If you really look at how things are really going in through at the club of Man United, we've gone ahead to concede 2 stupid penalties towards the end of the game, yet we're really having a lead, and it was really uncalled for, and Bissaka did something bad. So 5.5 out of 10 for me. Midfield. Oh yeah, let's go to the central defenders. Willy Kambwala. What will best speak for this guy are the stats. The stats will best speak for this guy. And Willy Kambwala, who was really an elite player on the night. Look at his stats. 100% ground duels won, 100% tackles won, 29 passes completed, 3 clearances, 3 interceptions, stepped up in the toughest game in English football. If you don't know, this is the toughest game in the history of English football. If you never know, better get to know. This is the hardest game that you'll ever see these teams play in the Premier League. Liverpool versus Man United, it has huge history, and Willy Kambwala came up and raised up to the occasion and made himself a statement that I'm that player that you should obviously rely on. Don't worry about who is unavailable, but I'm here to do the needful. And I told you, this game is going to be a blessing in disguise for Willy Kambwala, because if he plays very well, the manager is going to start to pick him ahead of other defenders, because if you can come out and stand against Darwin Núñez, Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, name it, that's what puts you into the starting 11 of Man United for the game of Bournemouth we are going to be playing on a Saturday. And for me, Willy Kambwala gets an 8 out of 10. He was really magnificent, and no one doubts his abilities. He was a beast on the night, and the way he tracked back, the way he bossed Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is kind of a bully, but went ahead to find Willy Kambwala. His physical strength is really up there in the sky. When you look at how Willy Kambwala does the game reading, tracking back, his pace, he's really a lad that has gone ahead to be from the Academy of Man United. And for the very first time, we saw 3 teenagers start a game against Liverpool. 3 United Academy teenagers start against Liverpool. And this is yet another player that Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to get from the Academy and instill into the first 11. And now people are saying he should be sacked. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Look at how he's turning around this team. All we need is to get players of the caliber of Garnacho, Kobbie, Maino, Kambwala, Rasmus Højlund into that team. Players that are really of huge intensity and can come in through and really get us to the levels we want to be as a side of Man United. So that is Willy Kambwala for you. I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. He played alongside Harry Maguire, and I think for the very first time in the previous games, we've gone ahead to see a centre-back pairing accomplishing a game. Varane has not been accomplishing games, and Lindelof, they haven't. So, however much they are injured, I think we are covered up. I told you, people are worrying about Willy Kambwala. I told you, no way, Kambwala is going to come in through and live up to the expectations, and he really did. However much people were worried, but Kambwala has gone ahead to be Kambwala, 19-year-old French player, and I think he's really having a very huge future at the club of Man United. Harry Maguire, 16 defensive actions, 9 duels won, 8 clearances, 4 out of 4 tackles won, 1 interception, 1 block. That is Harry Maguire for you. I think had a very decent game, and for me, I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10. Apart from the moment where he dilly-dallied with the ball and he found himself losing it, I don't have anything else. I really blame him. Even in the first half, I think there is the way he gave out a ball easily and they almost went ahead to score against us. That's the save. That's the Szoboszlai save that Andriy Onana makes. I think it was around the 8th minute of the game. But apart from those two things, Harry Maguire was really exquisite into that play at the club of Man United. He takes a 7 out of 10 from me. We go to the midfield. Casemiro. Guys, I know most of you have always gone ahead to call out for Casemiro to leave the club of Man United. I've been really adamant. That is it. And I was like, you are not gonna convince me that he really deserves to go. But yesterday, he was off by a mile. He cannot match the levels and standards. Unless otherwise, we keep him around and get him what we call a player that can really do the job. Like you get in a more youthful CDM to do the job and you keep him as a backup. And I don't think he's ready to be played as a backup. He might be like a Jorginho, like the Jorginho at Arsenal, because it's not always good to phase out these experienced players at once. I understand. And you have only a youthful structure. When you look at Arsenal last season, what failed him a little bit was a little bit of lack of experience, But when you look at right now, Jorginho, he's really doing the job, and he's being brought in at the right time. Look at the likes of Thomas Partey. You get So if you're going to do an overhaul and you're ready to go for another build-up of 2-3 years, then we should get in players of 23, 24 years that are really good, and we should spend huge to get in quality players to play into that midfield. But I know if you're really having a very good scout, you can get a very good CDM. Very good CDM. In the Premier League right now, CDMs that are really available, that can come in through and obviously do a job. Paulinho is there. We are having, which other decent CDM is the Premier League? That in these other bottom teams that is going to hit obviously put in a very good performance that you can go ahead and really sign. Who else? But for me, I see Paulinho at Fulham. He's really doing great. Newcastle is having Bruno Guimaraes. If you can get in Bruno Guimaraes at Man United, he'll be a very good addition to the club of Man United. Tottenham Hotspur, Yefis Besoma, I think not to the standards of Man United, but I think we can walk to other teams like we get in the Zubimendis of this world and very many others. So I would like us to go for people like Zubimendi, but wait and see who is going to be the CDM. Casemiro, 5 out of 10. He had a very bad game. This is the worst ever game I've ever gonna hit to see Casemiro play in a United shirt. Very bad. He looked worse. Casemiro looked worse into that game of football. Then we go to Kobbie Maino. Guys, this is Mr. Liability. This is Mr. Man United. You rely on him every time you feel like you want to go far. And Kobbie Maino had the following as his game by numbers: 100% tackle win rate, 8 out of 9 duels won, 5 out of 5 tackles won, 2 out of 3 dribbles completed, 2 blocks, 1 goal. The present and the future of Man United is midfield. He is really great, and I tell you, I give him an 8 out of 10. He had everything right, and he did the necessary requirements in every moment he was caught up. He's very good, scored a very brilliant goal. He was really magnificent, press resistant, and I tell you what, he's just 18, and this was the last game he played when he was 18 years of age. The next time I think we play as a club of Man United, he will be having 19 years of age. And for me, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. And there is a start that Kobbie Maino went ahead, obviously coming through and really put up into the mix. And it is like, with his goal this season, Kobbie Maino is the youngest ever player. 18 years plus 354 days to score against Liverpool on the Premier League in Premier League history. So he's the youngest player to ever score against Liverpool, and he's really great. Then we've also been told most goals by teenagers in the Premier League this season. Alejandro Garnacho is having 7. Evan Ferguson is having 6. Wilson, Odegaard, Facundo, Bournemouth, Jack Hensworth is having 3. Kobbie Maino and Luca Colioso are having 2. And then Lewis Millie is having 1. So the teenagers that are going to hit to score goals in the Premier League are being led by Alejandro Garnacho, and his goal contribution is also going to hit to make lots of rounds on social media. And he's having 5 assists. That is Garnacho for you. So when we look at Garnacho, I think he's going to really score more and more and more and more and more and more and more. He might even hit double figures, but they're really looking great in there for you. So for me, Kobbie Maino, he takes an 8 out of 10. When we go to Bruno Fernandes scored 1 goal and went ahead, obviously put in some bad performances. People always rate him on goals. I know he's going to hit to score 50 goals. He has going to hit to join the tally of the foreigners that have going to hit to clinch 50 goals for the club of Man United. But I tell you, he was not all that impressive. His game by numbers: 5 clearances, 5 crosses, 3 out of 5 tackles won, 2 shots on target, 1 key pass, 1 goal. So that is Bruno Fernandes for you. For me, I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. He's not a leader. He's costing us moments in there. We go to Garnacho, almost put us ahead, but Bruno delayed to obviously play that pass. I think he delayed by a second. And if I thought I was going to hit to release him better, would have gone ahead to do the needful. Though I went ahead to see Mike Owen saying that maybe Garnacho made a very bad run. He would have gone ahead to first run to the left and then makes a vertical run, but he just made a vertical run throughout. But that comes with experience. I know with time he's gonna come out to be a major into doing that. So that is Garnacho for you. And for the second goal, he had really a very huge input. Passes into Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Bissaka plays into Kobbie Maino. Kobbie Maino takes a very brilliant first touch, and what a color into the top corner to make it 2-1 for the club of Man United. And Garnacho, for me, he takes a 6.5 out of 10. I've gone ahead to see people complaining that why did they have to take off Alejandro Garnacho? He was tired. He was tired. He was tired. That's what people don't know. He played on Thursday, and remember, he was playing in America. Then he returned. He played against what team did you first play against? He played against Brentford. He looked ugly. Against Chelsea, he looked sharp. Against Liverpool, he really had a spark in him. I think he deserves to be rested. That is it. So that game, Garnacho gets a 6.5 out of 10 for me. Then Marcus Rashford, a 4 out of 10. Like I've said, Casemiro was the worst player on the field of play, but Rashford was the worst player on the field of play by far. And I was really excited when he was really on the ground and he was like, take me off. Is he playing with an injury? I don't know. No reason to obviously force him on the field of play. And in the game of Brentford, I don't want to see him forced on the field of play. I would love to see to it that he doesn't really get into the starting 11 for the club of Man United. That is it. So for me, I'm really excited that he's off. And I think he should find himself injured for some time, because I'd rather do a Mason Mount in the midfield and see Bruno Fernandes play off the left. You understand? And I don't really see Bruno Fernandes coming in through. That is it. Sorry, I don't see Rashford coming in through into this game of football. That is it 100%. I'd rather see Bruno Fernandes play on the left, Garnacho on the right, and Mason Mount in the midfield. That is it. So, I'm giving Rashford a 4 out of 10. Let's go to the substitutes. There came in Mason Mount. I liked what he did. You know, he knew what exactly this fixture meant, and you saw how he brought Cody Gakpo down and got that yellow card, something that Amad Diallo had to do when you're playing against Chelsea in that game, but he failed to do it, and I liked it. 6 out of 10, Mason Mount. Then we saw Amrabat come on through. Looks a little bit rusty and off. 5.5 out of 10 for Amrabat from me. Then which other player came on? Anthony came on. 6 out of 10. I really liked the way the energy he puts in, the way he inverts into the midfield, and I will never forget that pass he really did to Bruno Fernandes, and then that last shot on target for Man United that he really got and went ahead not to really hit it well, and it was like a baby shot to the goalkeeper. Sometimes you need to obviously calm down and really do the needful, and that was really great for him. I had not gone ahead to rate Rasmus Højlund. I'm sorry. Rasmus Højlund, for me, he had a very good game. He takes a 6.5 out of 10 for me. That is Rasmus Højlund for me. And he really went ahead to put in a very huge show at the Old Trafford. And Rasmus Højlund was the one feeding these people that's supposed to be feeding him. That's what shows you how bad Man United is. When you look at Liverpool, who was feeding Darwin Núñez? It was that entire team that was really in the mix. Now, the manager, Erik ten Hag, I give him a 6.5 out of 10. You know, coming into that game of football, when you're not having your left backs, Luke Shaw or Tyrell Malacia, your first 4 choice centre backs are away. Varane, Lisandro Martinez, John Evans, and Lindelof, and you manage to get those a point, and you are in the lead. If it's not a penalty, you win that game of football. There is no way I cannot give him a 6.5 out of 10. That is it. Then we go to the man of the match. Guys, I'm going to go with, it's either Willy Kambwala or Kobbie Maino. They are really tied. Choose for me, guys. Choose for me who is the man of the match according to you, because these two are really magnificent. But I tell you what, Kobbie Maino has been getting in a run-in of games, and you're going to hate to see these performances day in, day out. He has been consistent, and For Willy Kambwala, though for me I trusted in him and I believed in him because of the game I saw him play against West Ham, Nottingham Forest, and very many other games where he came on through, the game of Man City and others. I trusted him, but the world never trusted him. But looks like him and Kobbie Maino are really having the world at their feet. It's up to them to obviously get in a moment of magic, to obviously show the world what they are all about. Willy Kambwala is my man of the match. Now, I don't know who your man of the match was, but for me, it's Willy Kambwala. And Rock and David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Ramadan Kareem, you are just 1 or 2 days to Eid Mubarak. Ciao, ciao.